What game do you wish had a multiplayer, but that doesn't, or co-op that doesn't?
Oh man. No. Back out. Back outside. Oh. Man, that's a good question. It's right here. I'm looking at it. Challenge completed.
Challenge completed.
Awesome.
We
Gosh,
win, was
that's a really good question, because I know there's plenty that I've thought about. Yeah, actually, you're gonna think this is crazy. I would love, I'd love to have a two-player Metal Gear game.
I would like it too, but it couldn't be Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it would be like Metal Gear something else.
I wouldn't even like call it. I wouldn't even let it have the same name.
No, I think it should. I mean, after all, there was Metal Gear Rising, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. I just don't know if I'd want it to be in the same universe, because co-op games in general have weak storylines. Like, do you remember Splinter Cell's co-op?
Yeah. I remember that we just kind of like dumbed our way through it.
Yeah, but do you remember the story in it?
No, exactly, right?
Yeah, it was just two guys. Two dumb guys.
Well, I don't know. I think they could still do it. You know, I mean,
They could do it, maybe, they probably could do it. I mean, there's a way to do everything, but the one easy way they could do it is just make a reference to the fact that you're just two guys. Or like that, it's that you got that dumb co-op, half thought out co-op.
of course it
know?
would. I mean, if it was made by Kojima, it would have
Yeah.
references to everything like that. And I mean, I think they could do it really well. They would have to basically introduce two new characters for it, I guess, But they would be, they would be members of Fox Sound, I'm sure,
Ooh. So, oh wait, yeah, you could be the guy who crapped his pants.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. That's like, yeah, play as like, I guess he would be getting his promotion to tactical espionage action, and then player 2 would be, I don't know. You could do player 2 as Meryl.
You could just make it the whole Foxhound team, and well, then it'd have to be like 4-player, wouldn't it?
I guess so, but I think co-op would really work with the new style that they're going for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they've dabbled in cooperative multiplayer as well. Like Peace Walker. Yeah, wasn't it called Peace Walker? Yeah, Peace Walker had co-op in it. Which I'd always really wanted to play it. Like, well, I did play a little bit online, but like I was like, man, this would be so fun with Josh, but you'd have to get the game, and all that stuff.
Let's see. My game. I've already said Loot Rousers before would be a great call game.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about that last Monday?
Maybe. I think you can make Doom. Like, I know it already had co-op in it, but I think you can make Doom into a good co-op game. But here's how you do it. Shared ammo, shared health.
Now, I don't know about the shared health aspect, but I was actually...
Because you'd have to balance it around that, or you'd have to balance it around the fact that you have two guns. Basically two guns.
Well, I was thinking like the balance that I would go with, and this is a weird one, but what if it was that each player could only hold half of the weapon inventory at a time?
That would be interesting too.
So you couldn't have them both carrying the same weapons, except for maybe like the pistol. Like the pistol could be shared. But like, you know,
That would be rough. That would be rough too, because basically only one person would be able to shoot through half the game, because only one person would be able to use the shotgun.
well, I mean, there would be also the super shotgun, and then there would be they could bring back the assault rifle and also have the chain gun. So you know you could split like someone could have the super shotgun and the assault rifle, and then someone else would have the shotgun and the chain gun. You know.
Mm.
And then someone could have the rocket launcher, the other guy could have the plasma gun, somebody could have BFG, and someone else could have, I don't know, maybe they could have like a counterpoint to the BFG, like maybe a demon weapon.
Was the super shotgun your favorite? Your favorite shotgun ever? Would you call it your favorite shotgun? Cause I know you're a shotgun whore.
I would probably call it my favorite shotgun. I'm trying to think if there is anything that beats it. Let me tell you a game that I don't think had good shotguns though. GoldenEye. Shotguns in GoldenEye were not very good. I don't feel like.
But automatics in that game were god.
Yeah. The P90 was I mean, gosh, P90 was incredibly crazy.
What about the black one? The black, like, big.
Oh, the AR
automatic.
It was like
a black. No, there was the AR that you could dual wield, but there was also a black one. I think you used on.
It's so stupid that you could dual wield the AR too. But continue.
Yeah, no, it was stupidly awesome. It was used in the last level, on the final mission.
It was like the SMG.
Yeah, I think it was a striker, maybe, or called something like that.
No. Let's see. There was like a DMG. I remember it was like DMG was like one of the SMGs, which was I don't remember what it was really based off of. And then there was one that was basically like an Uzi.
What are we waiting for? Let's go after
it.
I forget what it was called. And then there was the Klob, which nobody used the Klob.
The Klob was so bad. I feel sorry for the Klob.
And then there was also the Phantoms, which...
The Phantoms! That's what they were.
I don't think they were
all black?
I don't think they were on the last level, no, because I remember the Phantoms being, like a more gunmetal or, silver color, kind of like the Klobs. But they had, like, sort of an AR shape, you know?
Okay, maybe
It's
I'm
been
wrong.
a long time.
Yeah. Who owned GoldenEye?
Who owned it? I own it.
Yeah, someone. No, I mean the new one or the remake.
Oh, Micah. Micah has the remake. Or his sister does. His sister does. I should specify. Like they had it on Wii.
I can't believe you never got that.
I just never could find a... Like, I wanted to kind of pick it up for cheap, because, you know, I'm a cheapskate and everything.
Yeah, but it's GoldenEye. And wasn't it supposed to be good?
I've heard it was...
Like,
I've heard
really
it was
good?
Fairly good. And here it was, like, it's no... You know, what am I thinking of here? It was no generation... inspiring title like the original one was, but I heard it was fairly good. I'd love to see a new Perfect Dark if they could make it right. Because I've always heard that the sequel that they put on 360, like as a launch title, so bad.
Yeah. Launch titles are never good.
Huh?
Name one good launch title.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I mean, Super Mario 64 was a pretty good launch title.
You don't count. You don't ever count.
Wasn't GTA 3 a launch title for PS2?
No, it might have been a killer app. No. I wouldn't even call it a killer app.
I feel like it was a launch title, though. I really do.
To look it up.
No,
I don't think it was. I know it came out early.
Resistance was a launch title for PS3. That was fairly decent.
Dude, I played Resistance recently. It was bad. Played like a year ago and it sucked.
It could have been better. It really could have. Like, I remember being pretty frustrated by the end of the game with just how it worked, you know? But back to the whole thing with the Perfect Dark sequel. That's also just the fact that after Rare got bought by Microsoft, they just could not put out a good game anymore. They just stopped putting out good games.
Banjo Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. It was bad.
I didn't hear it was necessarily bad. I just heard it wasn't like great. You know, it wasn't like generation defining like Banjo Kazooie was. You know.
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means.
Well, Banjo Kazooie is one of those like you know, you had your Super Mario 64, which kind of like really popularized and introduced the whole third-person platformer collect 'em all kind of game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even that, to be fair, was kind of like taking from Donkey Kong Country, which was side-scroller collect 'em all game, you know? Anyway,
I thought Donkey Kong Country came after Banjo Kazooie. Because I remember Donkey Kong Country sucking.
Donkey Kong Country came out in like '94, dude.
Oh wait, not Donkey Kong Country, like Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Donkey Kong 64 though.
I get them confused.
And I've always actually heard positive things about Donkey Kong 64, just never played it. Lee had it though. Anyway.
Hey, no names. Eel.
That's such a generic name though. I think it's fine.
Eel. No, it's not.
In this situation.
Eel is like a very. I mean, the only other person I know named that is the guy who made the jeans.
Well, I can't think of a good nickname for him anyway.
Eel.
Well.
Or Peckerwood.
Nonetheless, he had it. But I never borrowed it from him and played it though. But I mean, yeah. So like, Banjo-Kazooie has always been considered as being like, basically the defining third person platformer 3D collect 'em kind of game. You know.
Now here's the way you say it, Travis. Super Mario 3 might have pioneered the genre of 3D platformer, but it's really Banjo-Kazooie that refined and perfected the formula.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just didn't want to really say it that way.
Yeah, and I said it in like 2 sentences when it took you like 4 minutes.
It's okay.
You gotta learn You gotta learn this stuff.
Well, we got kind of sidetracked on some other stuff along with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, Banjo-Kazooie was a good game, so I would call it generation defining. It would be up there with like Ocarina of Time and GoldenEye and what was something else?
Genre defining is the word you're looking for.
Well, genre defining too, but it was also generational defining because it was like one of those games that like when you look at
generational defining is Metal Gear Solid.
Well, no, you can have more than one generational defining game, you know?
I know that, but that's not. But I don't call Banjo-Kazooie generational defining. I call Final Fantasy VII for all its flaws. And, you know, maybe it's the weaker game in the series, but yeah, that's generational defining because that was the mainstream RPG that everybody that got like RPGs rolling.
Well, I mean,
I'd call.
Are you talking about generational as in people's generation, or are you talking about it like as in
a period of time in game?
Because I'm talking about
industry.
Because I'm talking about it as in terms of like the consoles that were out at the time, like as in between PlayStation and N64.
I'm talking about just a time in games.
Well,
like maybe in the game industry, not like a console generation, because I don't look at console generations because I'm a PC player, you know.
well, I mean, it was a time when
Um,
consoles were a little bit more dominant, I guess, than PC. I don't know. They were all pretty equal, I guess, because PC had a very unique platform at the time, like mostly unique games and stuff.
yeah, I think like the '90s, like yeah, the '90s and late '80s were like the best time to play PC games, or like one of the best times, because yeah, controls. They used the whole keyboard back in them days. I like that. I like having to manage my reactor on my ship and have to manage my shields and on the fly.
I would say it was more specifically that during that time, PC games were being made for PC. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't that they were being made for any other platforms. Occasionally, you'd get your crossovers. Like, I remember there was a Duke Nukem that came to the N64. There was a Quake version that came to N64. I mean, Doom 64 as well. StarCraft 64. Who remembers that, right?
I own that.
But
Yeah, I
you
won't
know,
call Banjo-Kazooie that.
well, I mean, it's because of a difference in opinion or difference in definition about what we're talking about generational. Because you're talking it more like a moment in time, and I'm talking about it as a console generational thing. Like for those consoles, I think it was a generational defining game. You know, because people talk about like top games from that time period. You know, Banjo-Kazooie is going to get name dropped a lot. You know.
Yeah.
But so was Metal Gear Solid, and so is Final Fantasy VII. Those are certainly generational defining games as well.
I just wouldn't even hold them in the same Banjo-Kazooie in the same stratosphere, or in the same like area, whatever I'm thinking
Well,
of.
you have a notorious dislike for Rare anyway. Like all Rare, even when Rare was making good games, you have a dislike for their games.
GoldenEye was good. I mean, it's not any good. I mean, it doesn't hold its own now when you look back at it. Perfect Dark was okay. I mean, I know it's considered great and all, and I kind of respect that. Ooh, I would like to see Time Splitters come back.
Oh yeah, man. Oh gosh.
Mm.
That was like the good section of Rare went off and made Time Splitters.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
If only
That's
they
something we can agree on.
That is something we can agree on. I mean, Free Radicals was pretty awesome. It's a shame they had to shut down. Did you see their footage for was it the Star Wars Battlefront 3 that they were gonna make?
I saw Alpha, yeah, but I didn't really. But it was so long ago, and it really didn't look that remarkable to me.
It really didn't. This is actually what I was gonna bring up. Is that like when I saw it, I was like, wow. I mean, this looks alpha. This looks like garbage in some ways. It was still fascinating to see, though. I'm sorry to cut you off. But...
Oh, that's fine. Do you think the new Star Wars game made by DICE is going to be any good? Or the new
Probably
Battlefront
not.
game made by DICE? I don't think it's going to be either, because DICE has become like another monster EA zombie. You know, they got bit by the EA zombie and are now just another member of the horde. And eventually, EA is going to take it behind the shed and kill it like they did Maxis, and Bullfrog, and Origin, and Westwood.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
Oh, we were gonna play Open Red Alert.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess that's for next time then.
Yeah. What else can we expect next time? I didn't even talk about watching Vertigo.
Oh, you finished watching it? I still haven't seen all of it, so.
Yeah, don't bother. I'll tell you why next week.
Wow. So don't appreciate cinema, huh?
Oh, I appreciate cinema. This just sucked. I'll tell you why.
That is a
Next
bold
week.
statement just to straight up like diss Hitchcock. I'll let you keep your secrets for a week, but I'm like that is some bold words.
I mean, maybe in retrospect it's a great movie, you know, for the time. I'm not gonna say anything more. I will talk about it next week. What can we expect to play next week besides Red Alert, Open Red Alert?
Okay, so we got Open Red Alert. We're gonna finally play some Serious Sam. That's gonna work, right?
Yeah, we'll play some serious Samuel.
Okay, so what do we want to play? The HD or do we want to play Serious Sam 3? Because I kind of ready to play Serious Sam HD.
We'll play some H dubs.
Okay, and what else? Any suggestions coming from your end? Oh, yeah, I know what we were supposed to play this week as well.
What?
Insurgency.
Yeah.
And we gotta try to get Jared in on it if we can. Did you send him the link?
I'll be able to next week.
Or should I just try to send it to him
Yeah,
somehow?
send him the link.
Because it's the
you
same
got his
link.
phone number, don't you? You got his
Yeah.
phone number, don't?
Does he have an iPhone though? Would I be able to send it from my iPhone?
Yeah, he's got an iPhone.
All right. Awesome. Then I
Yeah.
will send
That's
the
why.
fabulous
That's why I
phallus.
sent y'all a group. That's why I sent y'all a group message that one time because I wanted all three of us to talk like we're friends in real life.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll hook the fabulous phallus up with that. So it'll be good.
It's a great name for him.
It really is. It fits really well. And
I
since
would love for the three of us to play some Planetside 2. I mean, I know you hate the game, but last time we played it was actually interesting just from like a talking points.
yeah,
There's some great things brought up.
I think so too. And don't get me wrong, I get real frustrated with the game because I mean part of it's I just don't like tack shooters, you know. So it's just
I thought you said you were okay with tack shooters.
well I go back and forth, but like okay, I kind
I
of
like
like
to hear this.
I kind of like the tack shooters that are dumber. Like I like my running and gunning, you know. So, honestly, something like Counter-Strike, even though I'm super bad at Counter-Strike, I'd prefer to play Counter-Strike because Counter-Strike's a lot of running and gunning, you know?
Yeah.
Call of Duty's as
I
dumbed
can't
down
get
as
into
they are, you know, they're running and gunning a lot of it, you know? You can be very successful with running and gunning as well as camping in Call of Duty, you know? But I feel like PlanetSide because it's, you know, and this same goes for like Battlefield too, you know, because there's so much going on and so like, you know, team oriented and you know, there's not a lot of individual like ways for an individual to shine that it's not as fun to me.
I'm gonna end with this. To me, what you say is like so much going on. To me, I look at that as that's the type of depth I love. I love seeing like this organic, actively changing fight. You know,
And you're
And
not
as far
wrong
as
to
this-
enjoy that either. Continue though.
and and yeah, you have all the reason in the world to get frustrated with the game, especially with some of the crap that got handed to us. That game is so new player unfriendly. It's embarrassing. Like, I'm not even kidding. There was one time when if plane, just to use simple terms, a plane like did a strafing run on one of the spawn points and basically blew it up with one strafe. A new player sees that, they're just like, what the crap, you know? That's ridiculous. I wouldn't even suggest pulling a plane, like a fighter plane, in the game. To new players, I wouldn't suggest that to your like level 50, and then you're probably gonna be wasting your time unless you play with 12 other people, or like 11 other people who know how to fly. It's a frustrating game. It's not new player friendly. I was gonna say lastly. Oh God.
Well,
one more thing.
while you're thinking of that, just to add to that.
Oh. Mhm.
Oh, did you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just
ours like. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to finish my thought. Just to add to that, I mean, like, I understand where you're coming from, and that's really cool. Like, you know, because you like it in the sense that it's like a huge, you know, ever-changing battlefield. It's like, it's almost like a war simulation, you know, like actual. This is a war. There's so many people. There's so much fighting going on. It's like really cool. It feels like, you know, you can get the experience of being in the thick of it without having to be there. I get that, but it's just not my cup of tea, you know. It's I think it's a very, you know, personal feelings type of thing for that particular style.
Yeah. Maybe it is. I can't wrap my head around that. That's like someone saying to me. That's like someone saying, I don't like candy. You know? I mean, it's like, I'm like, who doesn't like candy?
It's like someone to you saying that they don't like music, right?
Yeah, I mean, and maybe, well, not to that extreme. Now that's
okay.
nuts. Someone says they don't like music, they're probably a psychopath. You know, they're probably a serial killer.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go in that direction.
All they hear is noise when someone plays music. You know.
No, that's what they listen to,
like
actually, in their headphones. They listen to noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they like.
To like blend in with the rest of society. No, but
Oh God, I'm getting some great story ideas here, actually.
Yeah, I know. This is the stuff. This is stuff we should have been talking about for 2 hours instead of whatever we talked about.
Yeah, but now we've just been like running around.
We've been running around Sanctuary for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know,
okay.
Right?
This is so stupid.
It is, right?
But back to PlanetSide 2.
Yeah, finish up your thought.
As far as like not being like a game for the individual can shine, I'd happily have to disagree. If you halfway know what you're doing and halfway are lucky in the game, just playing light assault, you can just get on a good angle, like on a unique angle, like above the enemy. Watch them file into a like area, like, you know, just kind of make a beeline towards an area, and just pick them off one at a time, and just, you know, slow their advance. And you can do the similar thing with an infiltrator, like the sniper class. You can use your cloak to just stealthily get into one of the towers. You know, you've seen the towers in the game, right? You know, there's, you know, with the turrets all around them. Like, get behind an enemy's lines to the tower that they're spawning from, hack one of the turrets, the anti-vehicle turrets, and just, you know, start firing at them with their own weapon, you know, with their own base turret, like with their backs turned to you, and just, you know, get a bunch of easy kills.
But can you say with the assurance that these sorts of solo plays actually helped the rest of their team complete an objective?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, and when I say solo plays, I mean like these people weren't being backed by any sort of team. They acted on their own.
The way I'm looking at it is
you're looking at it from and it was a team play that, in a sense that like
it's more like no. It's more like, yeah, it was at a fight where there was other players of your team, or maybe the fight was like in the next at the next base on the line. Yeah, like for the infiltrators, in the case of the infiltrator, it's like the next base on the map is where the enemy's fighting at, and you go to their base and you hack the turret, and then you just start shooting at as their tanks in their vehicles as they got their back turned to you. There's that, and that's like where you got nobody backing you up. But the light assault, I mean, there'll be other people at the fight, but you're acting on your own with nobody backing you up. So I don't know if that's what you're thinking of as being solo.
Well, how to put this? Like for one thing, I definitely did think beforehand. I'm like, well, I mean, sniper. You can always do big plays solo as sniper. That's what snipers do. They just in any game, even the biggest game, you can do big plays as a sniper. By yourself.
Really, you can do it in the least with the sniper rifle and plant side too. But continue.
Well, now you're just trying to like go back on your point, almost.
No. What I was talking about was you wouldn't even use the sniper rifle.
I know you were saying do a hack.
You just use your cloak. Yeah. But anyhow. What were you trying to say?
I get that and everything, but I mean, like, in pretty much, even in like Battlefield, you could do like big things with the sniper and stuff. But I didn't even like Battlefield was like the absolute edge of the limit for being able to like go into a fight by yourself and like sort of clear out the enemy team enough for you to push an objective. Like you can't make like a play by yourself in Planet Side 2.
I could. But I've got the experience too. I've got like that working knowledge of like, the flow of the game where I really think I could, and I've got like things unlocked like C4 for my light assault where I could, take out like 6 people, with one brick of C4. Like, and that's the C4 thing is a little circumstantial, circumstantial. Like I couldn't do that consistently. It could happen. And I mean, like even to an extent with the sniper rifle, you could slow them down. It's not going to be like, holy crap, that one guy saved the fight. But you can at least slow them down. Like, just find a good sniping position as the enemy's running towards the point. You're just picking them off one at a time, and make them have to stop what they're doing to find you. There's that. But yeah, I stand by it. I think there is ways that the single player, the one player, can make significant contributions to the game. One example is that when I was talking about like the spawn point getting destroyed by that plane, you can do that by yourself. It's gonna take some leveling up. I mean, you can't do that right out of the box with that vehicle, but it's definitely possible. Yeah.
Well, we'll just finish this next time, okay?
Yeah, sure. All right. So yeah, what's the closing phrase? You need a closing phrase for all 0 viewers.
Big booty, 2469 in the hood.
No, 2 Fort 69.
Okay. That's good enough.
That butthole delicious, like a fine wine. I don't know.
All right. Well.
Happy birthday.
You too. Good night.
Night.
Bye.